welcome to Psych and our ADN Associate Degree Nursing Pinning Ceremony. We do have some extra seating on the left here. If anyone needs a seat, please come up to the left side so that you can have a comfortable seating for our ceremony. My name is Janet Spriggs, and it is my privilege and honor to serve as the president here at Psych Technical Community College. And today, it is my pleasure to be among the first to congratulate our associate degree nursing students. Congratulations, class of 2022. I want to share with you all something that someone recently told me. I was talking with my board chair, the chair of the Board of Trustees, Paul Wiles. Paul worked in healthcare administration for 40 years. And before retiring as the president and chief executive officer at Novant Health, he retired after 40 years and most recently as the president and CEO at Novant Health. You may recognize his name because every day when you went into the Bob Green Hall building for your classes, you might have seen Paul M. Wiles School of Nursing. So your program is actually named after Paul. Paul says that nurses are the single most important resource in healthcare. He told me that it's not a surgeon, it's not a piece of million-dollar equipment, even though those things are very important. He said the single most important resource in healthcare are nurses, and that's what you all are doing. Such a noble profession and a career that you're about to embark on. You have made it through so very much. This is not the easiest degree that we have here at Psych Tech, am I right? Dare I say, it might be one of the hardest degrees that we have here at Psych Tech, but you have made it. Here you are. You've made it through. You've earned your degree. You've faced a global pandemic while also being a nursing student, and now you're ready to join the workforce, providing an essential service, and as Paul said, the most essential resource for all of healthcare, an important part of so many people's lives each day. I want you to know how very proud I am of you personally, but also how very proud all of us here at Psych Tech, your amazing faculty, all of the staff, everyone that has supported you on this journey. We're so proud of everything that you've accomplished. And before I offer you more congratulations, I also want to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to be a Psych Tech trailblazer. Thank you for persevering. Thank you for showing up for your labs and clinicals, for sticking with the program because we need you. Our community needs you. You continue to make Psych Tech a place of promise for everyone. I want to just recognize a few important individuals here tonight. I won't be able to find them because there's a lot of important individuals here tonight. We're packed today. But I know that I did see our provost, Dr. Jacob Surratt, somewhere in the audience today. Beside him is Vice President for Strategy and Outreach, Paula Dibley. On the other side of the room, the doorman over here is Dr. Kevin Osborne, Vice President of Academics here. If any of the other cabinet members or executive leadership team members are here, please wave at us. Just wanting you to know that so many of us are here tonight because we want to be here to support you, to congratulate you, and to celebrate with you. So thank you. I look forward to seeing hopefully some of you tomorrow at the commencement ceremony. But for now, I will just turn it over to our Dean, Ms. Renee Harrison, with one final congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Dr. Spriggs. Good evening. I am Renee Harrison, the Dean of Health Sciences and the Department Chair of the Social Nursing Program. On behalf of the Health Sciences here at Psych Technical Community College, I'm delighted to welcome each of you to the Associate Degree Nursing pinning ceremony for our 2022 spring graduating class. We are so excited about this day and delighted to have the opportunity to recognize you, our graduates. In nursing, the pinning ceremony is a long and rich history that signifies the moment that a student transitions from student to nurse. We are so delighted to share this transitional moment with each of you all this evening. Nursing continues to be the most trusted profession, and nurses are most often recognized as the leader of the healthcare team. The nurse is the member of the healthcare team that spends the most time with the patient. As graduates, you will have the opportunity to share with individuals in their most joyous occasions, their most vulnerable times, and some of their darkest moments. In a time when healthcare and nursing has to respond to the call differently than it has in more than 100 years, I am delighted that each of you are entering into the nursing profession, and I am confident that each of you will make a great impact. The faculty recognizes these graduates as a group of cohesive, determined, caring, collaborative, respectful individuals who have overcome many significant challenges but have persevered. All students successfully pass their final nursing course and are ready and eager to serve our communities. Job well done. In closing, I would like to express appreciation to our president, Dr. Janet Spriggs, our provost and chief academic officer, Dr. Jacob Surratt, our vice president of academics, Dr. Kevin Osborne, the executive leadership team, board of trustee members, scholarship donors, our amazing nursing faculty, clinical instructors, staff, advisory board members, volunteers, family members, friends, everyone who has supported each and every graduate here during their educational journey. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you our class president, Ms. Stephanie Allen.
I'm going to try and hold it together. Good evening, family, friends, distinguished faculty, and honored guests, and welcome to the Psych Technical Community College Class of May 2022's pinning ceremony. There are so many things I could say about the last 2 years, and yet really no words could truly do it justice. I often tell family and friends that nursing school is unlike any other academic venture. It's more like boot camp, where you're pushed to your limits physically and mentally, and you emerge a stronger person on the other side. We are not the same people who showed up for orientation fresh-faced and eager to learn. We've learned to adapt, overcome, think critically, advocate, and persevere. Nursing school is challenging under the best circumstances. But nursing school during a global pandemic presented a whole new set of challenges. From lectures and labs via Zoom to practicing skills at home with whatever makeshift supplies we had on hand, we found a way to learn and even master the material in spite of the unusual circumstances. But isn't that the essence of nursing? Adapting to challenges and making things work, even when the situation is less than ideal. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane as we reflect on our journey and celebrate our accomplishments. In first semester, we learned the fundamentals and stressed over doing our first physical assessment. It's funny, really, to reflect on how afraid we were to even touch our patient in clinical. Then there were the dreaded skills assessments, where we demonstrated how to give shots and insert a nasogastric tube in front of our professors. The anxiety in the hallways was palpable on those days, as we awaited our turn to do the dreaded demonstrations. In second semester, we were introduced to death by paperwork as we trudged through the most complex packets of clinical paperwork imaginable after every med-surg clinical. That semester was challenging as our clinical hours increased and our paperwork intensified. I could share so many stories of how many of you in this cohort saved my life with your amazing CNA skills. Having never been a CNA in a clinical setting before, I was totally lost, and so many of you precious friends came to my rescue and patiently taught me the tricks of the trade. I cannot thank you enough for that. Third semester brought us into the amazing and challenging world of OB and PEDS. Who knew that semester could be so hard and exhilarating at the same time? Many of us were privileged to witness the miracle of new life coming into the world, and that experience will stay with us forever. Fourth semester, we tackled mental health and clinical psych rotations. We saw and experienced so many impactful things during those clinical rotations, and somehow we survived those process recording interviews and paperwork. And finally, our fifth semester and final semester, we learned to tie it all together and were introduced to critical care nursing and community nursing via service learning. I'll never forget walking into intensive care and seeing an arterial line, ECMO machine, CRRT, and a patient on a ventilator for the first time. I had never seen so many IV drips on one patient before in my lifetime, and I wondered how I could possibly care for a patient that sick. Gradually, we became accustomed to those machines and patients who were critically ill and gained the confidence to care for these fragile patients. To our clinical instructors, thank you for equipping us with the skills and confidence we needed to succeed in the hospital setting. Thank you for answering a million stupid questions and for calming our nerves when we felt like we were in way over our heads. You believed in us, and that helped us believe in ourselves. Thank you for teaching us it is okay to cry when we lose a patient, and for showing us how to remain tender-hearted and empathetic. You've set the example for us, and we are thankful. We will remember what you have taught us, and we hope to make you proud. To our nursing instructors here at Psych Tech, thank you for teaching us what we need to know to be critical thinkers and competent nurses. And thank you most of all for encouraging us to do the next right thing when we didn't think we had the strength to keep going. The instruction's important, but the encouragement cannot be undervalued either. We are eternally thankful for your investment in our lives and our education. Thank you for equipping us to be the best nurses we can be. To our precious family and friends, thank you for sticking by us during two of the hardest years of our lives. You have cheered us on, excused our absence at events, encouraged us when we were down, and prayed endless prayers for us. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for loving us so well and allowing us to pursue our dream of becoming a nurse. You are our inspiration. And it could happen. We could not have done this without you. To my nursing cohort family, we did it. I am so proud and deeply honored to represent you and to graduate alongside you. I'm even more proud to call you my friends and colleagues. Your stories have inspired and humbled me as I've gotten to know you over these last 2 years. So many of you have overcome tremendous adversity and obstacles to get to this place, and I'm so proud of your dedication and perseverance. You all make the world a better place, and your patients will benefit from your loving care. Thank you for your friendship and camaraderie these last 2 years. It has truly been my honor to walk this path with you all. I believe that nursing is more than a chosen vocation, it's a calling. As nurses, we hold the hands of the newly born and the dying. It's a sacred and humbling calling. As we close the chapter on this part of our journey and prepare to enter the field of nursing, I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes by John Wesley. Do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can. So go forth and do good. Congratulations once again. We did it.
know if I can follow them. And I can't even look at the two right here because they just have been going since we started. My name is Daria Kring, and I serve as the Vice President for the Center for Professional Practice and Development for Novant Health. It is my privilege and my honor to be with you tonight to address the class of 2022. It brings back a lot of memories. And I want to start by telling you guys two stories. The first story begins in 1988. That was my graduation year. I know it's hard to believe. And during the late 80s, we had a new disease, HIV. We didn't really know a lot about it. And because we didn't know a lot about it, we were pretty scared of it. And as nurses, we weren't sure if we were putting ourselves in harm's way. And as we learned more about the disease, we changed our practices. We had different policies and different protocols, and it was confusing. And sometimes it made us angry because we weren't sure that we knew what we were doing and that we were being protected. And the social climate during this disease was full of angst. People didn't understand what HIV was, why it was causing so many people to die, and if there was something about those patients that we should be scared of. Does that sound familiar? It does sound familiar. What we've been through the past 2 years is the same. A new disease. We're not sure how to manage it. Practice is changing daily. We're scared. The social climate is full of angst. This probably won't be the last time that you have had an opportunity to see how to manage through this crisis. So when it comes around again in 20 years, whatever that is, when I graduated, it was COVID. And I was taking care of a patient with full-blown AIDS. He was a young man in his early 20s. I didn't know if something that he was doing was morally wrong, and that caused him to have this disease. But I knew that he was scared, and I knew he was facing death. And I was a young nurse, and I wasn't 100% sure not only how to manage him physically, but how to manage him spiritually. And one day I went to his room, and I had to check his blood sugar. And so I pricked his finger, and at that time we didn't have sharps controls. We didn't have fancy needles that retracted. All that engineering hadn't been invented yet. And when I finished pricking his finger, I took the needle off of the AccuCheck meter and I stabbed myself. And at that moment I froze and I stared at my finger and I watched my blood bubble up from my finger. And the young man in the bed said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm fine." I washed my hands and I went out to find my nurse manager and let her know what had happened. I was mortified. I was scared. I felt like a failure. And my nurse manager put her arm around me and said, "It's okay. We got this. We'll do what we need to do." I was fine. It turned out okay. But as you can imagine, it wasn't a really good day. It wasn't a good shift. I was questioning, is this what I need to be doing? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. How do I take care of patients in this way?
And I went back into that patient's room, and I did the best that I could. And he passed away. And I remember thinking all that that young man had taught me, not only about caring for patients with AIDS, but caring for patients in spiritual crisis, and caring for myself when I made a mistake. So my second story, we're going to fast forward a few years, and I'm a preceptor. I didn't leave the profession, and I have a new graduate nurse working with me. I love teaching. Like, that brings me so much joy to see new energy coming into the clinical areas. And she was a delight. Everything that we asked her to do, she was there doing it. She went above and beyond. She was smart. And then one day we had a patient with really low potassium levels. And she needed to give runs of potassium. We're pretty far into her orientation, and I see that the order has come through. We need to give some runs of potassium. So I go to find her to check on her, see what help she needs with this IV infusion. And I've given runs of potassium many, many times on our nephrology unit. I knew it would take a few hours to get all these in. And so when I finally found her, I said, "Hey, did you see the order for potassium?" She's like, "Yeah, I already gave them all." Yeah, my heart stopped beating. I'm glad y'all had that reaction. Lets me know y'all are ready for practice. Because when she said that, my heart stopped beating. And she looked at me and she knew she had done something wrong. She said, "What's the matter?" So let's go check on our patient. Quickly. Walked to our patient's room. Patient seemed fine. Called the physician and let him know. Monitored the patient. All was fine. And I reminded her, pushing potassium is kind of like how we execute people, right? Like that. So she had a moment. She had a bad day. She had a bad shift. She started crying. What am I doing being a nurse? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure I need to be a nurse. And I gave her a hug. And I said, "Of course you're going to be a nurse. You just learned a really hard lesson. And you will never, ever make that mistake again. You know so much more now than you knew before you came to the shift today. We're okay. But what are we going to learn about this? Right? What are you going to take away from this?" So from those two stories, I'm well over 30 years into nursing, and I think back to when I was sitting in your seat, and I was out there not sure what I was doing. So I'm going to offer you 5 pieces of advice that maybe I wish someone had given me when I started out in nursing. And so the first one is seek knowledge. Seek knowledge. And I know all of y'all are saying, "Look, we just spent 2 years seeking knowledge, and I'm going to need to take a break." I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you cannot take a break, right? We could not even begin to teach you everything you need to know. We cannot even begin. So you are now a professional nurse. You have to do it yourself. You have the tools, you know the resources, you know how to think critically. You have to continue to seek knowledge. And that means every day at work, when you don't know a medication, when you don't know a procedure, when you don't know a disease, you look it up, you ask for help, you seek knowledge. And that means some of you are going to go back to school and have a PhD. I never dreamed the day I graduated from nursing school that I would go back to school. How do you start nothing? Like, going back to school was not something that I thought about. But some of you have probably thought about that. And some of you maybe not so much. And my advice to you is if you think you want to do it as fast as you can. We don't have time to wait. We need nurses with as much education as possible. This degree gets you started. And many of you will be amazing nurses and won't go back to school, and that's okay. But lots of you will go back to school. So those of you who want to go back to school, get it done as soon as you can so that you can use that knowledge for the entirety of your career. The second piece of advice is to practice best practice. And I say that, it seems kind of like the same as seek knowledge, but it's not the same as seek knowledge. Seek knowledge is, you know things. Practice best practice means you do things. And not all nurses do both. So when you know better, you do better. And you have choices to make every day that you're at work. Choices around, I know I'm supposed to do that, but I'm kind of behind. Or, I wonder if I really need to take the time to look that up. Practice best practice and do it because you are a professional nurse. Your employer is not going to make sure that you do everything that you're supposed to do. You are going to make sure you do everything that you're supposed to do. And the reason you're going to get ready to take a little test and pass that little test so that you'll have your RN license is because we're entrusting you to stay up to date and do the right things. And that license is to protect the public, right? Because you are going to have access to people and help them get through some very challenging times. And you can do the right things, or you can choose to do not the right things or some risky things. Perhaps you talked about in school about a legal case that closed about a month ago. Okay, that was a heartbreaking case from every aspect of it. I don't believe we needed to bring criminal charges, but Redonda also didn't practice best practice. And we all hold a responsibility to practice best practice in every interaction that we have with our patients. So we're going to seek knowledge, we're going to practice best practice. We're going to be those nurses that are technically sound. And then we're going to do the third piece of advice, which is spread compassion. And I hear that already in this class, so I'm not really worried about that with you guys. I hear it and I feel it. But it doesn't matter who your patient is, spread compassion. You don't know the journey that they've walked. You may not believe the same things that they believe. They're a human being and they need you. And they need you to be compassionate. And then I need you to be compassionate with your colleagues. The work that we do is hard. Very hard. And if we're grumpy with each other, it doesn't make it any better. Be compassionate. Be compassionate with yourself when you're tired or you make a mistake. Be compassionate with your colleagues when they make a mistake. My preceptee that pushed the potassium, as scared as I was, I also felt her pain because I had been there. Show compassion so that we can all walk through this profession together. And then the fourth piece of advice is to exude gratitude. There's a lot of chatter in popular psychology about gratitude, but the reality is it makes a difference. And practicing gratitude, telling others how appreciative you are of them, actually can increase your well-being, decrease anxiety more than medication, because it's really a state of mind. So practicing compassion and exuding gratitude helps us all come to work and practice with joy. And who doesn't want to come to work and practice with joy? And then the last piece of advice is to take care of yourself relentlessly. Take care of yourself relentlessly. When I was a new nurse, I would take extra shifts, I'd work overtime, I'd pick up another 4 hours, I would do whatever we needed to do because I was such a giving person. And that is the recipe for burnout. Do it when you can, every now and then, but you have to be true first and foremost to yourself. You can't come to work the next day if you're exhausted. The work will always be hard. The work will always be hard. But we don't mind hard. We can do grueling shifts. But when you're off, you're off. And you're taking care of yourself and you're focusing on your family. And look at your family. How proud they are of you. We got moms and dads, we got kids, we got brothers and sisters. And they are so proud of you. That's the most important thing in your life. So please take care of yourself and don't sacrifice yourself to your work. That will come if you are mentally and physically ready to do the work every day. So I say to you, seek knowledge, practice best practice, spread compassion, exude gratitude, and take care of yourself relentlessly. Congratulations and good luck.
Good evening, everyone. It is now my honor and privilege to present to you the Paul M. Wiles School of Nursing, Joyce E. Glass Associate Degree Nursing Program's Spring Graduating Class. Class of 2022, please come forward. Stephanie Allen. Danae Anderson. Brianna Backus. Abigail Bates. Casey Bradbury. Stephanie Brown. Ashley Calabrese. Kristen Cass. Iris Chavez. Megan Contreras. Ebony Cowan. Elizabeth Dolan. Hannah Donnelly. Jennifer Emery. Patricia Irvin. Cameo Fanning. Shayla Flippin. Mariah Griffin. Kim Herrera. Bailey Hughes. Sarah Ireland. Ashley Jakubik. Savannah Zuchik. Chase Jones. Jacora Lang. Brianna Long. Adele Lyerly. Miranda May. Courtney McAllister. Betty McLeod. Jacinta McCray. Magali Mendoza Vico. Lorena Paredes Ruiz. Maite Perez. Vanessa Ramirez. Hannah Redden. Catherine Robertson. Tiffany Ryerson. Michelle Chavez Ellis.
Yes, ma'am.
Holly Smith. Taylor Snow. Adelaide Shobeson. Genesis Soto Gonzalez. Jennifer Sutphin.
Thank you, Daddy.
Lindsay Taylor.
Yes, this day.
Amanda Thomas. Jennifer Thomas. Beryl Thompson. Leah Todd. Gabriela Vasconcelos Cespedes. Felicity Wade. Christina White. Artura Williams. Misty Williams. Olayinka Williams. Mariah Whitmer. Graduates, at this time, would you please turn on your lamps? And at this time, would you please stand?
Graduates, if you would repeat after me. In full knowledge of the obligations I am undertaking, I promise to care for the sick with all the skill and understanding I possess, without regard to race, color, creed, politics, social status, sparing no effort to conserve life, to provide support when death is inevitable, to alleviate suffering, and to promote health. I will respect at all times the dignity and religious beliefs of patients under my care, holding in confidence all personal information entrusted to me, and refraining from any action which might endanger life or health. I will endeavor to keep my professional knowledge and skill at the highest level, and to give loyal support and cooperation to all members of the health team. I will do my utmost to honor the International Code of Ethics applied to nursing, and to uphold the integrity of the nurse. Congratulations. You did it. It is my pleasure and my honor to introduce for the first time our very new nurses, our graduating spring 2022 class of the Associate Degree Nursing program. Let's celebrate them again. If I could please just provide just a few directions. First, we have a reception to my right. If you would exit there whenever you're ready in the gallery. We have cupcakes and water. Please help yourselves, family, friends, please enjoy the refreshments. We also have the graduate yard signs. If you were not able to get one of the graduate fair, please take one so you can post in your yard and celebrate. Also, if you would please remain for a few moments for pictures. We would certainly appreciate it. Family and friends, you may remain also to take pictures, and we will start those in just a moment. And again, congratulations and thank you everyone for joining us this evening to celebrate our brand new nurses.